Big Ron Shaw here, the Earl of Upsets, telling you to watch my friends, Monte and the Pharaoh, on Long Island's #1 wrestling podcast show, and soon to be the world's #1 wrestling podcast show. That is going to be a big upset.
You know what I wanted to talk to you about. I want to welcome our new sponsor, 500 Level, www, shouldn't be using that, 500level.com, where they sell all sports clothing and all this wonderful stuff. And support the Monte and the Pharaoh show. Please use the code MP20, that's MP20, and get a luxurious 20% discount with 500 Level sports gear. And right now they're offering a holiday special with 10%. So that's a whole 30% off the garments. Jimmy, you just being part of their sponsorship, ordered yourself a nice little T-shirt.
Yeah, I'm acknowledging the great tribal chief. Yo, by the way,
I'm really surprised you went that route, dude. I got to be honest with you.
Oh, you know it's funny, as I was looking through, and by the way, they have a lot of great stuff for you folks out there. When you get to that site, there's a lot of good. Dude, I was tortured. You said to me, pick a shirt, and I'm like.
And by the way, it's just not wrestling, dude. It's all sports. Like, I was surprised you went wrestling. I was like, really, dude?
Well, I mean, after all, they've been, kind enough to be our sponsor, and we're going to have a partnership with them. Of course, I'm going to do wrestling. It's a wrestling show. Sometimes it's a wrestling show, right, Mike?
Sometimes. And let's not reminder, MP20 for a luxurious 20% off of 500 Level. And like I said, for the holiday, they're offering another 10%.
What do you think I was going to pick? Like Aaron Judge or something? I don't really.
Dude, I know. I was thinking to myself, is he going to go Yankees or Jets? And if he goes wrestling, he's not going Rome. Like, I was shocked. I thought you would go Hulk Hogan, Savage, Ultimate Warrior even.
No, because right now, the very thing that you and I talk about from week to week and we pine for is the return of the great tribal chief. Look, we really did enjoy that. Yeah, we really did love that reign.
By the way, I got to show you something here. Do you see this? I got this T-shirt.
Look at that. There you go.
It's really cheesily made, but I fucking love it.
So what? It's the message that counts.
By the way, I got to ask. Hello, Jimmy.
Hello, Michael. What's going on? Jimmy. God, I love that tune. Can I mark out for myself right now? I was listening.
It's fucking greatest tune ever, dude.
My God, that thing rocks. I don't care.
It's a great tune. It's a great tune, and I'm going to agree with you there.
By the way, the video for the upcoming release, Tales from the Wood Volume 2, is the process is underway, and here we go again, man.
I am pumped. It's been how many years, dude? How many years?
About 5. It's, by the way, it always seems like we release stuff during presidential reigns. It's hilarious. I look back on it, I'm like, wait a minute. First term Trump, and then Biden, second term Trump. It's like, it's like one of these weird coincidences.
It's just written in the stars. So, you can catch Wisteria Hall's music on all, downloadable, Spotify, I think Taxi. It's on YouTube. You go to Wisteria Hall YouTube page. Our own Jimmy Farrell, along with his partner Bart Griggs, make up the great band Wisteria Hall, who is the main contributor to the Monte and the Pharaoh show. I mean, you heard Wisteria Hall's music, obviously on this opening. At the end of the show, one of the greatest moments was the tribute to Dan Marati, where you and Bartman did the old "Wish You Were Here" from Pink Floyd, which was effing awesome.
I think that I think it coincided with the death of Scott Hall, if I'm not mistaken.
I think you are right, sir. I think you are
Oof,
right.
I
Without a
think.
doubt. There was somebody
Yeah.
else too, wasn't it? A threesome at
Well,
that time?
the real one that hurt the most for me and for you too, I'm sure, it was J.J. McGuire.
Well, yeah, that's what it was. It was J.J.
Yeah,
McGuire.
that was
Fuck.
rough, man. That was
Dude,
rough.
you know,
JJ
we're
was
doing those
actually a great.
Tuesday night retro shows.
Yeah,
We're just pulling shit out. So, by the
I
way,
love it.
dude, I was thinking about it. I don't want to go into our past, but there was a show that was
Yes.
played like a week ago. I was like, oh boy. Like, I didn't do that on purpose. I have a hard drive and I have the old shows in the section and I just grab
Yeah.
one, right? And I name it
What
Tuesday Night
was it? I
Retro.
don't know if I don't even know if I even remember which one you're talking about.
What's his name was on it, like front and center the whole show. It was like, I was like, oh boy, this is not good.
Oh, there's a lot of what's the names in our past. So if you don't care to specify, I've already got the idea.
The guy who
Gotcha.
just died. The guy who just died.
Oh, okay.
But he was like,
Gotcha.
in this particular show, he was front and center. I was like, oh
Right.
boy, this is rough, right? So, Tiffany, well, first of all, I want to apologize to everybody because usually I know how to end a show, and Tiffany, the great I'm going to call her the great Tiffany Nieves, right, moving forward, the Puerto Rican princess, right? Or the Rican princess, whatever. So,
Get it?
she was
Got
doing her
it.
tagline. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I cut myself like 5 minutes in, like at the end of the show.
Cut
And
like
I
with
was
blood, not
like,
cutting tape.
cut with blood. And I had blood
Yeah.
pouring out of my
I didn't
arm.
know.
And
I had no
I didn't
idea.
want to, I'm on a carpet here. And I'm like, oh my God, I don't want to bleed. And I'm like, you know, again, just being in full disclosure, you know, so it's like I ran off and then I hope to get back before the end of the outro. And of course I didn't. And then you see my fat ass come through the door. I was like, oh boy. So anyway, by the way, how incredible was she, man?
She was fantastic. I mean, she basically echoed how I look at a lot of things. It was refreshing. How's that? It was refreshing. The Shawn Michaels thing is a little, okay. But fortunately for her, Shawn is frozen in time, and that's fine.
Well, you mean
That's
fortunately
fine.
for him, you mean?
Yeah, that's true. Oh God, very true. But at least it involves long hair and stuff in the the fantasy with Shawn. So we're good.
Will you be going to you're going to the big event? You have to be, right?
Well, I'm here now. I can't picture you like not. I can see like you coming to my house and stuff and pulling me out. So basically,
Right, and
sounds
you
like
got to go see her. I mean, dude, I got to be honest with you, man. I'm going to start watching NWA more, and I'm telling you, that chick's got the goods. I mean, what an attitude, man! What an attitude.
Well, it reminded me of, and it's oddly enough, my pop, rest in peace. Interesting man. He once said something that's like the most hurtful thing I've ever heard, but he also said the very best thing I've ever heard that's always driven me. And he always told me, pat yourself on the back because no one else will. And I never forgot that. And obviously, that's how she applies it. She's just like, you got to have confidence in yourself. Otherwise, you're not going to come across like that. You're not. So,
you know what? She spoke so intelligently. Even if you didn't agree with what she was saying, it was intelligent. It was fucking like so refreshing to me.
It was thorough. Her thoughts were thorough and her answers were thorough. It was a beginning, a middle, and an end. And that's how people should talk. That's how people should talk. It shouldn't be like, let me plant the seed of discontent and watch everybody run in circles like Curly, whoop, whoop, whoop. To be intelligent enough to have a full thought process on touchy subjects and basic subjects is a common balance we should all have. Wow, did that just come out of my mouth? What on earth?
That's pretty damn good, son. My God.
Well, you know what, too? You say she's a very intelligent woman from the Bronx. Well, my father was a very intelligent woman from the Bronx. They both have different backgrounds. One's Jewish, one's Latino. Hey, folks, there's a word called balance. But you got to be thorough with your conversations. Otherwise, we're fucked. Come on, Mike.
Right. No, you're right.
Yeah.
And, again, it's very hard to get people off their pedestal, meaning that they have a belief, whether you're on the right or you're on the left. It's right. But when someone speaks refreshingly like she did, and again, maybe it was her cancer that changed her for good. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
highly impressive.
How many heart surgeries have you had?
Well,
what
that's
me when they when they rushed me to the hospital and I was like 90 minutes from septic death. When you have stuff like that happen to you, you become more centered than ever. At least I hope you do, right?
Well, the thing is, dude, do you think like when I was listening to her, like I feel like a shitheel, dude, because I'm not,
Yeah.
I'm not nearly as appreciative for what I have.
Yeah.
And I'm being honest, dude. I mean, I was like listening to her and I'm like, I'm a fucking shitheel, dude. Because I
Mike,
just like, I still hold the same gripes and the same issues and the same bullshit, right?
Mike, understand too, and you know what? It all depends on the person. Listen, like I told you, she reminds me of me in a lot of ways. Like right now, she's at the pinnacle of her career, hoping to go forward. All things are looking up. She's got a positive attitude. She's going to look at life a little differently than you right now.
Hmm.
Okay? It's all circumstances, and we'll find out. When I said to you after one of her answers is that she's going to go somewhere in this business, it's because of getting back to that thorough thought process that she has. She's very grounded. You understand what I'm getting at?
Well, I want to be
So,
fair on this one too, Jimmy, though. She's on TV all the time. She's a
mhm.
wrestler. She's
Yeah,
traveling. People are kissing
yeah,
her ass, right? So there is a
yeah,
difference there.
I'm
Meanwhile,
sure.
you and me are schlepping
That's
through
what I'm getting
life.
at.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying, right?
Right. Right. I'm trying to cut you a break. It all depends on your circumstances. Now, also, there are people that have been in her position that have failed miserably, been miserable, weren't appreciative of the fact they were there. You understand what I'm saying? If the spot she's in currently. So it just depends on the answer is what we're going in circles over here is how you handle it, how you
Listen,
handle things.
I'm not going to speak to you, but for you because you've done much better than I have,
What? In
right.
what
So,
way?
well, I'm going to explain.
In what way?
So, I was thinking to myself, what kind of power does someone wield when you look that smoking hot? Like you got to know that you could have every fucking loser watching, the two co-host, two hosts of the show, and every motherfucker watching us at a snap of your finger. It's like, oh my god,
Jesus.
like
Wow. Are
you
we
may have
that
had that
pathetic?
power when you were a rock star. I've never had that power, so it's like, oh man, what does that
Yeah, but
feel
here's
like?
yeah. I'll tell you. All I can tell you is all right. Um, she realizes everything you just said, just like I realized back in the day what you just said about being in a very successful band. How you're going to be treated. Uh, she is not letting that drug intoxicate her. I couldn't do it. I didn't want to do it. Yeah, sure. There was some craziness, but I hit a mellowing out point and still continued with the band because I realized, look, this is not really going to get me long term. I actually had to mentally clean up my approach to everything to get into the better part of my time in bands where it was run by sober guys. And if there was a loose cannon in the band, it was mine. It was me. But I was way more restrained than I was in the beginning. So I actually curbed it before it got stupid. And she's smart. She's been with a guy for 4 years now. She hasn't let the drug that you spoke of, which is, the aura of, hey, everybody wants to, get with me, get to her. You got it? Or,
So, Rib is out there. I haven't seen him for a couple of weeks. He's
okay.
asking if Wisteria Hall's music is available to be used on YouTube. Absolutely, sir. You
Yep.
have permission to use Wisteria Hall's music for any of your videos with no type of issues. Jimmy is owner along with his partner Bart Griggs, and that is part of our show. So we give rights to most anybody to
What's he?
use that
What's he?
music.
What's he doing? What's he using it for?
Well, he's not saying. I guess he's asking. He's the guy that does all the cartoon videos and shit. Those cool ass
Yeah,
cartoon videos. Yeah,
I'm curious.
yeah. So maybe he'll
Gotcha.
put it in on something, right? So he's asking.
Nice,
Yeah,
nice. Yeah, that's cool.
I'm still waiting for him to do a cartoon video of one of our interviews. All right, buddy, you ready? I know you really didn't want to talk about it, but we're going to talk about it. I am so sorry for you, but this is
What?
it.
What's that?
So Jimmy Kimmel has been put
Oh,
on extended leave from his late night show due to his comments on the President Donald Trump, along with his complaining that the right is trying to blame the left for the assassination of Charlie Kirk. And I got to tell you something, Jimmy, right? For the first time in almost a year, our video got flagged last week.
Okay.
So it took me almost
Or
a week to get it unflagged. It doesn't tell you what for.
oh,
Tells you that it's limited advertising, right? So because I guess whatever our conversation was, I was thinking to myself, like everybody in the world's talking about Charlie Kirk, and we're talking about him, and we get flagged, right?
right. Uh-huh.
It's the same old bullshit, same old story.
Yep. Yep. The,
So
the very
I'm I'm
the very thing I'm trying to stop. But go ahead.
I'm going to lead you into this one. So Jimmy Kimmel had something to say, but do you think it's fair that he gets suspended, and are we infringing on our right to free speech within the United States of the Americas?
When you report falsely and spread the flames of hate further, you are definitely to be curbed. I'm sorry, it's the right decision. Okay, because everything he said was untrue. There are facts here that have been released to the public through the investigation. Okay, he was not a right wing youth. How dare you go on after the weekend? You had plenty of time to ingest the information, the inscriptions on the casings, the text messages between the young man and his lover, and you have the nerve to come on and say that it's the right wing MAGA, and what you are flinging hate out there. This is what I talked to you about last week, Mike. That somehow there has to be, and you know what? Megyn Kelly set my ass straight. You saw my post this week about free speech. I'm like, okay, I get it. All right, but this situation is what I was talking about, where
Here's
spew
the
out further,
difference.
yeah,
Jim.
you
Here's the
spew
difference.
out further division, further increasing the narrative when the real hostilities, especially, come on, the hostilities are coming from a certain side. And I don't give a damn if you like it or not. It's obvious. Why are you continuing that? The man just died. He just died, Mike. What on earth in front of his family? What on earth? And he was a preacher. Oh, God. You don't believe in the Bible? Let's kill you. You don't believe in his political beliefs? Let's kill you. Don't talk to you. Do not go on the air and preach that bullshit to us. This
So
is over.
here's my belief, Jimmy, is everybody has a right to free speech. Now, I've been
Yeah.
more than publicly saying that famous people should really curb their political enthusiasm because
Right.
of the leverage that they have on society. We've discussed
Right.
this numerous times. LeBron James has more pull in the family dynamic than daddy or
Twisted.
mommy. Okay.
It's
If
twisted.
Jimmy
It's true.
Farrow has a political opinion, it's only seen about a certain amount of people. LeBron James's opinion is altering minds. So when Jimmy
Right.
Kimmel goes on air to a million people who ever watch the Tonight Show every night, right? He's
Less
got a
and less
certain
all the
amount of
time.
pull. So I've always believed to this point is that you need to curb your politics if you're an actor, if you're an athlete, if you're anybody of any sort of fame that has nothing to do with politics. Now, people say that's stupid. What about freedom of speech? You're absolutely correct. So Jimmy Kimmel chose to use his venue to use his freedom of speech, his amendment of right that he's able to use, right?
Mm-hmm.
Here's what I believe in, and it's finally happening. Owners of companies are saying, say what you want. And this is happening all over social media now, Jimmy. People are on there crying. I lost my job because I posted this. I lost my job. Companies have a right to go, hey, you have a right to say what you want, but guess what? I don't want you representing me.
Right.
When you work for me, you represent
Right.
me.
Right.
And that's what I'm kind of digging right now. It's like, guess what?
Right.
Say what you want. Now you're fired.
Right.
Goodbye.
Well,
And people are crying. All I said is I hated Charlie Kirk. Well, guess what? You should have kept it to yourself, but you wanted to go on the internet. Now you're fired. That's it. Jimmy Kimmel, you had to do it on your show. You're fired.
mm-hmm. Yeah, you're gone. But to me, it's the facts. The circumstances and the facts. He's freshly murdered, and you go on and you give false facts. What are you doing? You're just dividing and continuing the hate division process. You're making it even worse. What are you doing? Have you seen some of the behavior that went on some of these campuses with some of these nut
Of
jobs
course.
that would interrupt vigils of peace and in remembrance? And your homie dead, your homie dead. Did I hear that right? I want to make sure I heard that right.
She was also arrested. So, you know,
Right. I'm just
listen,
saying. And then you have the nerve to go on and say what you said.
here's the
Wow.
thing. Here's the thing. If you feel so driven to celebrate, listen, the people at TMZ, they did nothing to that whole group of people working for them that were cheering at that point, right? And then they
Yeah.
claimed it was they were watching some cop chase. Bullshit. But they didn't do it.
Sure.
Listen, here's the deal, Jimmy. You have a right to do whatever the fuck you want. And guess what? Everybody else has a right to
Mhm.
do the same exact thing, right? You're just not supposed to
Right.
hurt people doing it, right?
Right.
So
I
guess what? You want
remember.
to go on social media, say, listen, if I'm working for a company right now and I'm pro Donald Trump and they're not pro Donald Trump and they want to fire me, I guess they could, right?
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Look, I'm as you're saying these things, I'm flashing back to a clip that I've seen where Charlie is, at one of his turning point debates, and he's debating with a transgender, and the transgender asks Charlie basically, why do you not just acknowledge me when I say that I'm a she or I say that I'm a he? It's just a common courtesy. And Charlie looked at them and said, "It is not courteous to lie to someone. I have my right to my opinion and you have yours. You're asking me to lie to you about my personal opinion on it. That's
The
wrong. And on
the
top of
best
it, when I don't give you the answer you want, you're going to call me a Nazi and a Trump supporter, and you're going to lump me into a whole bunch of other things that don't apply to me. So, how is that courteous? And when someone
again,
answers it that way, there's going to be someone that's going to take a gun and try to kill that because you can't, when you can't argue with it, you have, like I said last week, you have one or two ways to go with it. Either you accept what he said and you stick to your own opinion, or you kill somebody like that because he always had the answers. They were
here's the
thorough.
thing. I heard Jamie Lee Curtis on an interview, right? And she said she did
Oh,
not like
well,
him. She
right.
said, I did not like him. I didn't agree
Mhm.
anything about anything he said. But you know what? He was a man of God. He stood by his beliefs. And how can't you respect, say, someone who stands by their beliefs and their love? Because it was all
Right.
from love. You know, if you watch those videos when he speaks, even when he doesn't believe in something, the one thing he always says is love yourself and love your God, right? I mean, he's
Right.
always saying that. Listen, dude,
Yeah.
you know what? I didn't realize it until last week, but I feel like we may have lost a future president over nonsense, and
Yeah.
again, this has been going on forever and ever, from Martin Luther
Yeah.
King to Malcolm X to Robert Kennedy to John F. Kennedy, the attempted
Yeah.
murder, assassination of Ray. The list is long and long, right?
Reagan. Yeah. Hmm.
But you know what? It's like at some point, people got to check themselves. Listen, I want to move on. I know we covered this last
Yeah.
week, but I just feel it's important. So, do you remember the young lady who was murdered on the train, stabbed on a train?
Sure. Sure.
I was listening to a show, right? And they
Hmm.
were talking about this said murder, and they were saying how disgusting it was that people just sat there, walked away, didn't get involved. And of course, it was disgusting. I'm going to go on record and say that. I'm sure you would feel it was disgusting too, Jimmy, right?
Oh, well, yeah, to say the least.
But here's the one thing I want to ask you. People are so quick to like talk from their ivory towers and say this, but I don't know. Do you think those same people, if they were put in that same situation, they were going to risk their lives to save somebody else?
Well, I mean, all I can do is just talk from personal, how I would be about it. I'm not sitting there. I'm not filming it. I'm probably figuring out a way to get behind them and choke them. Get them down to the ground and scream to somebody else, "Fuck, help me with this guy. Get his legs, get the weapon." I would be trying to choke him out from behind and bring him down from the rear. Sorry, folks. There's a million jokes in there. But
All,
yeah, that's
all,
what I'd be trying to
all I'm
fucking do.
trying to say to you, Jimmy,
I'm
is
not sitting there.
people are very quick to say, "Oh, that's an embarrassment.
I'm
That's a
not sitting
shame.
there,
That's
Mike.
disgusting."
There ain't no ivory tower here. I'm not sitting there, and I don't think you're sitting there. This is not armchair quarterbacking either.
I know what I would do, but my whole point is, I think people don't really realize, like, if they're in this situation, it's not such a cut and dry situation. Okay, if anybody's been around somebody who's wielding a knife,
Nothing
okay,
cut and dry about any of it.
Well, no, it's not. It's not cut and dry.
No,
it's not like,
I understand.
You can't lay judgment. Listen, again, sometimes there's more important stuff. No, I'm not saying you. I'm just saying in general, this particular show and this particular person who I know wouldn't have done anything. Okay, trust me. There's not a day and a second ever it would have happened. But
now I got to wonder about the particular person. Go on.
You know who it is, dude. It's really simple.
Confused tonight. I didn't even know who the past particular person was. I don't know what's going on. Go on.
Does this help?
Okay.
Does that help?
Yeah, I did.
All right,
yeah, a little bit. I don't know. The arms were like not in the right position.
Okay, there. Okay, does that help? Does that work?
I don't even know. I don't even know. I don't remember.
But anyway, my point is, not everybody's a hero. And you know what? It's like, don't lay judgment on people that just run away, because some people want to live, right?
You know what? How about some observations, though, since we're back on this horrible incident? Okay, how about some observations? Sure. You got people sitting there that are doing absolutely nothing. Guy gets up, you can hear, got the white girl. You can hear it on the audio. Got the white girl,
right?
And everybody just sits there. Can I objectively say that absolutely sucked?
Absolutely.
Can I say that? Okay, all right. No judgment going on here, folks.
How about the people that were filming that poor lady being on fire in the subway?
That was unbelievable.
All right,
The only thing missing was the hot dog vendor coming up and selling pretzels. I mean, everybody was filming and just hanging out. Hey, check it out. What has gone on here, Mike? What have we done? What have we done to ourselves?
Because everybody's a big talker. Big talker.
Well, yep. Well, thank you, Internet.
Same people. Forget it. I'm not get into it. So, on a YouTube show the other day.
Yeah.
We talked about this a little about yesterday, but we probably got to go a little deeper, right? Powertown USA, who's run by Magnum TA, Greg Gagne. Now, you're a fan of Greg Gagne. We had him on the show. I remember after that interview, you were jacked up. You were a fucking big fan, right?
I was very happy with that interview. I thought Greg was cool. You had Magnum. What were your thoughts with Magnum?
Great guy.
Okay. All right. So what the fuck is going on here?
So let's talk about this. So these two come up with this idea, or Greg Gagne meets somebody. I think he told the story on air with us. We were talking about the Kerry Von Erich doll, right? So he was talking about how he met this guy and he had done work with him in AWA, and they wanted to do these special type of dolls. And the dolls are fantastic, dude. I got the Kerry Von Erich. It's fucking great. I got the Bruiser Brody. I got the Stan Hansen. I got the Vern Gagne. They're beautiful, right? They're very high quality.
You got the Wahoo McDaniel?
No, so we're going to get to that, my friend. You're a very smart man. So they went to Series 2, which was 2 years ago. Okay. They're not cheap, everybody. Okay.
The Series 2 stands for 2 years. You didn't know that?
Well,
go on.
It's not cheap. So you can pre-order, but you pay ahead, right? Yeah. It's 2 years later. At some point, was it late last year or early this year? They said, we know we're behind. So guess what? Pick out of these 3 figures and you get it for free. I got the Vern Gagne. So everybody's going through it. So the part of the problem is, Jimmy, is that when you write them, they don't answer. When you go to Shopify, where they sell their stuff, right?
Yeah.
They won't refund your money. No one's answering you. No one's telling you what's going on with these dolls. Okay. And
they're playing with them.
If you think about it, there's probably over 1,000 to 2,000 people that ordered these things, if not more, at $100 a pop.
Who knows?
Okay.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
And they're not getting their stuff. So Magnum goes on with this guy, Dominic DeAngelo, who does them. I think he does Jake the Snake. I don't know what this guy does.
Okay.
He must spend a lot of money podcasting with these guys, must pay them. I don't know where he gets his money.
That's part of the business. I got you. Yeah.
All right.
All right.
So they go on to talk about this scenario, and Dominic DeAngelo is like defending them and saying they're good guys. And here's a problem I had with
That's not the issue. Go on.
You're right. So Magnum TA is like, I'm doing the best I can to rectify the situation, blah, blah, blah. But at some point he says in the interview, if people keep fucking with me, I'm just going to take my ball and go home. And I'm like, what? And Greg Gagne's big on, I don't know what's going on. We're doing the best we can. We had nothing to do with this. Dude, it's like, and this DeAngelo guy doesn't even ask any questions. Like, for example, Jimmy, they're still selling the dolls, like the Wahoo McDaniel doll, on their website. On their website.
All right. You know what, Mike? Hold on. Hold on. No, hold on a second. All right. I've had enough. You see this, Mike? Do you see this right here?
Yes.
Okay. This is a bottle of bourbon. I've had enough of these nut jobs. When are we ever going to? What does this mean? What does this mean for the fans? The very people that supplied you with this awesome life. Correct, Michael?
Absolutely.
Take your ball and go home. You're not giving refunds, and you're still taking payments for dolls that were supposed to come out. What would have been realistic, Mike, when you put your payment down? What would you have been satisfied with as far as waiting time? Maybe 6 months tops?
6 months. You hit it right in the head, buddy. Hit it right on the head. There's some of the dolls there, right? Wahoo McDaniel, Junkyard Dog, Alundra Blaze. What is that? Kamala. I think that's.
I got shades on, so I'm screwed. Wait a minute. So
go ahead. Yeah, I can't see shit. So go ahead.
They're beautiful, but if you're not going to get them in the mail, then they're not very beautiful, right? I mean, they're invisible.
Agreed.
Have you tried to talk to either one of them? You might want to try. I mean, after all, I know we're just two schmoes from New York, but I think that you could probably get through to them. I could
have called Greg. I definitely could have called Greg, but
right.
I don't know, Jimmy. I'm just like,
does Magnum strike you as why would Magnum say take the ball and go home? I mean, is he getting trolled?
Because I think he's frustrated, right? Listen, here's the problem. I certainly can understand things not going the right way. I get it.
Yeah.
But as if you're going to collect money, you have a responsibility to answer people, and you have a responsibility to try to refund the money. It's like, okay, where's all the money that people spent? Explain that. Did you spend it and they stole it? Like, what went on?
Well, I don't know if that's the case here, but look, we've seen other situations that seem similar to this, and that's usually the case. They take the money and they spend the money, and then there's no money, and then I'm amazed that this is going down like this. What is this?
Well, it's a bunch of wrestling fans, dude. So it's like, what are they? They ain't suing anybody.
How many dolls are you waiting on? Figures.
I ordered the Wahoo.
Yeah.
Kamala and Alundra Blaze.
And how much were they a piece?
I think in the end I paid $2 and change, maybe.
Okay. And if there's a couple of thousand of you, that's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money, yeah.
It's a lot of money, yeah. So what is?
And let's not forget too. How about the talent that signed the agreements, right?
Right.
They're getting fucked, right?
Yeah.
So here they are, probably thinking they're going to make a little side hustle, right? And they're not going to get shit, right?
It never comes. Yeah, that's not good either. So what is the end result of this? Are we hoping that they hear this and they might actually do something about this, or do they just
they won't commit to they won't commit to anything until they get final word, and they said they're going to fly stuff in to take care of customers. Listen, dude, I'm telling you right now. Oh, so as someone asked them, this is something called Temu, right? So what happens is you could sell your stuff to a third party and say they could buy a bunch of stuff. They could sell it on these sites. But usually what happens, the reason people are complaining about Temu, it's a Chinese site where, like, when people don't pay for their imports, they take it and they sell it on these sites because it's now theirs, right? You didn't buy, you put these orders in, you didn't buy it. So people are like, why is your shit on Temu? And they're like, well, we really can't control what people do, that type of thing. You know what I mean?
So what do you think's going to happen? What's your gut read? You think they're going to just run off with the cash, take the ball and go
Well,
home?
they probably
Or...
have run. They probably have run off with the cash already.
Wow.
Jason Morton says hello.
Hey, Jay, what's going on?
Jerry, always a visitor. Jerry, how are you?
What's up, Jerry? What's
Phil
going on?
Cesare back on track. The quote,
Mr. President.
the Dokken album title. Is that a Dokken album title?
What was
Sorry,
that
guys,
title,
got to
please?
list on that. Back on track.
Oh, God. He knows his Dokken better than I do. I had tooth and nail.
Clark
Maybe
in the house. Rib shots in the house. That's the one who asked about, Jimmy's Wisteria Hole music available to be used on YouTube. Absolutely. Nice. Let's see. ESO, my man Bruce is there. Rib shot, yes. They have a YouTube. John McCarter. I was listening to the music called "Don't Mess with Us" from Disney Zombies, Down of the Vampires. Okay, that's your friend John, Jimmy, that you're so fond of.
Well, he's obviously getting ready for Halloween with that musical selection.
So Ribshot said, I found the YouTube page. I wanted to know if I could use it. And that's what I was saying. See, ESO, I love you, bro, but I was reading it. I knew what he wanted to do. So he may be using your stuff on his cartoon videos, dude. That'd be pretty hip, right? Everybody loves those fucking cartoons, man.
Are we gonna see ourselves like in a cartoon? Because I've been hearing.
No, you know what? Rib has not put us in a cartoon, which is a little bit disappointing. But
I want to see that because we are clearly characters. Come on, think about it. I'm drinking bourbon on TV. You could do something with that.
Awesome, much, thank yous. Always after a bit of music, I've been checking out all your post interviews. I'm 100% going to have some Monte the Pharaoh vids on my channel soon. Nice. But please put Monte the Pharaoh on. I want to see my fat ass as a cartoon. What do you think, Jimmy?
I already know that it's going to be better than those ridiculous AI Sergeant Slaughter chin jaw bones that I have. So,
yeah. By the way, I want to give a shout out to Bruce, man. Bruce has been with us a long time.
Yes, sir.
Good friend. Always by us. And you know what? He's just a good man, and he's always been loyal. And he's always been loyal, right?
Bruce is lovable. I hope he doesn't take that the wrong way, but Bruce is a lovable guy.
He is lovable, man.
He is. I still remember when you were sick, man. I still remember it all those years ago. You remember, unfortunately, you were ill, and he drove all the way down here and did the show. You remember that stuff? Those are things I think of when I think
Dude, do you remember my first time back in the studio? I was sweating. I couldn't fucking breathe. Oh, my God. I was so fucked up. B40's in the house, pal.
I was a train wreck during all of that. And then your body went through weird shit. Like at one point, some of the videos when I see you, it's like half of you. I'm like, what the hell?
Well, dude, because I was told I had to lose a lot of weight, and I lost it. And my cardiologist was like, put the weight back on. You look terrible. I'm not kidding. That is a true story. She said, you look like shit. Put some fucking weight back on.
Yeah. Oh, real quick, too, then. This is not coming from Bart. This is coming from me. One of the AI things you did is like, Wisteria Hall! Of course, I have the Sergeant Slaughter jawbone. But who the F put the French mustache on Bart? What is going on here? Bart does not have... No. You stop the AI and you find something else that AI could do that doesn't not put a wee-wee...
That's a great
French
picture.
Mustache. I mean, what is Bart is not French. Bart is Jewish from Romania. He's not French. What is with the mustache? A wee-wee. It was terrible. Awful.
Yard Ape in the house. Man, I haven't seen Yard Ape in a while.
Yard Ape?
Let's see what Yard Ape's got to say. Let's see what he's got to say.
Yard Ape's been around, man.
Grown man can't get the dolls they paid for.
What was that?
Grown men can't get the dolls they paid for.
He's got a point. He
does have a point. I can't really argue that.
I'm not getting any dolls, bro. I got record albums, though, like this one. Here we go. Hey, Mike, remember this one? Come on, man.
Oh, nice.
There you go.
Wait a minute, Jimmy. B40's in the house, and he's already hit it against strong. You ready?
He's what?
Ready for this? This is what he has to say.
Go ahead.
Have Magnum drive them to your house. Oh, wait.
Oh, my God. That's yeah. You're right over there, Mike?
I've got your dolls.
Stop it!
Your dolls are here.
Wasn't effective enough. That is just.
I can't ring the doorbell. Your dolls are here. I've got them for you, Jimmy.
Get it, Evan. Evan's ringing the doorbell. He's calling it a personal encounter and then writing about it.
By the way, I think me and Jimmy don't care who watches us at this point. We're just laugh together all night long.
Yeah, why not?
With
By
our
the way,
inside jokes, who cares?
Have you noticed though on the algorithm when we do that it goes up? Like you know, people want to see the real us, you know.
You want to see old men. Hey, by the way, nothing for nothing, but what do you think? Do you think Tiffany was hot for me? I was thinking she might like me. I was just throwing that out there. What do you think?
I'm gonna go with a definitive and conclusive no.
I was thinking about a poll, putting our poll on social media. Is Tiffany in love with Mike Monte?
I think that you should go on OnlyFans and do pole dancing right after she gets done cooking in the kitchen.
Oh my
in
God,
her underwear. What's her name?
By the way, she's getting
whatever her name is.
All right, let's talk some wrestling, dude. Are you coming over to watch? So anyway, I want to thank people from social media for helping me out. So last week we said, hey, we ain't paying $29.95 for ESPN app, but someone or many people had said if you have ESPN on cable Optimum, you get it. And I'm like, really? So let me check. And guess what? We have it. So Jimmy, are you coming over Saturday for WrestlePalooza?
Well, I part of me probably should, but as you know, I might have something else. I might have other things. I'm not sure. I might have nothing. It all depends. That's nice that you have it. I don't. So I guess I better come on over and be a.
But you live live right down the street, man.
Yeah, I do. No, that's true. But with my car, I usually make it there before it does. So there's that. We're only 4 years older than the car I'm driving around right now. Let's keep that in mind.
I love that. That's cool.
I know that thing is such a badass car, though. It is.
That is pretty badass, dude.
I can't go anywhere without a conversation. Oh man, what's under the hood? An engine.
6:30 p.m. Eastern time, dude. You got to come over by 6:30 p.m. Eastern time.
Well, entice me. What's the card? Is it good?
All right. Well, we're gonna do predictions.
Observations.
All right, observations. Fine.
You with your predictions. I'm the great Karnak from Johnny Carson. Oh, by the way, Mike, real quick. Johnny Carson, there's an old clip getting real fast back to the Kimmel thing. There's an old clip from Johnny Carson where they asked him why he chooses not to make his platform political. And he said that's a very dangerous thing that he would never want to do because you can really get carried away with your own opinion and get too big-headed. And he thinks that it's not the proper place and it's too dangerous to do that. Because what if your opinion is not the same as many others? So Johnny Carson knew to stay away from that sort of thing. So I guess Johnny Carson would back what you were saying earlier. There you go. Okay.
Yeah. Separate, church and state, right?
Yeah. Meanwhile, the younger folks are going, who's Johnny Carson? And I'm going, oh, boy. Go ahead.
All right, hold on. So the Vision versus the Us. People are saying, one of them being ESO, that this is being said to be one of the greatest pro wrestling cards ever.
Really? All right. So what's the first match?
So we're going with the Usos versus the Vision. Do you even know who the Usos are?
Yeah, I know. Oh, geez, that's pretty funny.
I
don't know. How's my Vision doing?
How about the Vision? Do you know who the Vision is?
Well, what's the breakdown? Isn't that multi-people, though? I mean...
Well, it's definitely not Seth Rollins, so it's only Braun Breaker and whatever his fuck his name is, the big guy. Good God.
You're asking me if I know who the Vision is? That's interesting.
Hey, quiet down, will you?
You're talking about Bronson Reed, aren't you?
Yes, I am. Thank you.
Okay, just making sure. All right, now you asked me if I know who Jimmy and Jay are. Okay. I mean, like part of me wants to see the Vision win. Otherwise, what are you doing with them? Are you gonna just push them further down so the Usos can continue to be the Usos, or what are we doing here? My preference would be for the Vision to win, but I usually root for the bad guy. So
well, wait a minute. Now Jey Uso's kind of turning bad.
Oh,
or heelish.
That's not even interesting to me, though. By the way.
Well, not heelish. They're kind of saying he's going to take the Roman Reigns head of the table, position, I guess.
All right. So, when do you think that will come into play? That if that does happen?
Well, it kind of started because he beat up what's his name, LA Knight, right?
Right. Well, it would have to be a trigger event that ignites it. So, is it going to happen during this tag team match where other Samoans come out all of a sudden and stand with him? Is that? Do you think that that's going to happen during this match,
Ooh,
or are we
that's
not at
pretty
that?
good. That's pretty good.
Well,
Any
are we
chance
at
that
that point?
Bronson Reed turns heel and joins
I
the
would.
Usos?
I would love to. I would love to see that. Wouldn't you?
Right, because Jimmy becomes the old Roman Reigns character, and
But
Roman
where is the
Reigns has to beat him.
passionate response though? Because Steiner himself, Breaker is not a good guy. So I don't know, dude. I don't know. I mean, to me, it makes more sense for now to build that elongate the process of Jay, and somehow have these guys get a win.
All right, let me ask you this: just on card purposes, that match is on the card. Is
Yeah.
that something that wants, like, okay, you got to go to Monty's house, right?
Yeah.
Is that something that's bringing you to Monty's house?
I'm not going to say definitively. No, you don't have me yet. If that's what you're asking me,
Right, that's what I'm
but
asking. Like right now with that match, you're like, this is what we're
you
playing.
know
Are
what?
you coming? Are you
Hold on.
coming over Saturday?
That's a good match. So far, that's a really good match. What else you got? That's a good match. I like
All
that
right.
match.
Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre.
This is so far so good. We're 2 for 2 as far as like, okay, I want to see this. Does Drew ever get the payoffs, man? What is going on with Drew? I can't see
I was
Cody.
waiting for you. I was really waiting to see what you were going to say there, because it's like, how many times can this guy be like just at the main event and lose every fucking time?
It's weird when I think of Drew. Sorry, but I think of Sheamus. Think about it. When Sheamus finally got to the top, right? It was like 4 world titles. You took him like he's a badass. He's remained a badass, but he went into Never Neverland, right? But he's still Sheamus, right? I feel
Yeah.
like that's what's happened with Drew McIntyre. He became world champion. He was the lightning rod. Here he is, and now he's doing the Sheamus path, where you're going to take him seriously. He's always going to have that seed of, well, you know what? He could win, just like Sheamus. Anytime Sheamus is in the ring, there's a definite possibility he could win. But he usually doesn't. So I don't see Cody losing. Do you?
Dude, Cody has become such an afterthought in my opinion.
I know. But do you have him lose to Drew McIntyre? Don't you think?
You know what? If you want to keep Drew strong, not have him lose the title, but you have him maybe lose by count out or disqualification or something. You can throw a DQ in there once in a while. You really have shocked me with that. You're kind of like, you're so anti count out and disqualification nowadays.
No, I just don't entertain it because they don't do it. I like it. I have no issue with it. I grew up with it, but I don't expect it, so I don't factor it in. When did he do it? When was the last time? Did he do it? How often?
By the way, Danny Story says, I bought a whole set as an investment before my financial situation changed due to my health. Right. I was always suspect of Gagne, but thought Magnum TA was better than this. I'll keep going here. You know what? So this is an important deal, dude. Like, I feel for this fucking guy right now. Was better than this. I could really use it, right? I got to be honest with you, dude. That's it. I mean, I know we're jumping subjects again, but I thought it was important to put that up.
That's fine.
I got to be like,
look,
think about it this way. This guy now, hey, he invests his hard-earned money. He falls on some hard times due to health, and we hope you feel better there, brother, Danny. And you get fucked out of your whole deal.
Let's just cut to the chase then. So far, this is fraud.
Yeah.
This is fraud. Okay. And the sad, sick thing is that if they take their ball and go home and they run away, here's the sad, sick thing. There's still going to be fans that are going to run up to them and mark out and pay them their $15 to whatever dollars for the autograph. But this is fraud. That's it. Plain and simple. Until they do right by it, until further notice, this is looking a hell of a lot like fraud.
Hey, and by the way, Danny is saying he's hearing Lawler and others saying that they never got paid for Superclass 3 dolls, right? Oh, they never got paid for Superclass 3 from AWA. Sorry about that.
Yeah. Without specifying, I do know personally that people have waited for money. I'm just saying, without specifying, I know for a fact personally, people have been waiting for money.
Do you remember when you were a kid
product.
and you would order stuff and it wouldn't show up?
Yeah.
How devastated you were, whether it was a magazine or a comic book or whatever the fuck it was.
The only thing I can relate to, because look, my parents were very tight. Okay, so I wasn't really getting much like the other kids in the neighborhood, but they did let me join the Kiss Army, and their newsletter would take excruciatingly long to get there. I mean, like 6 months. It was like, oh my God, what is going on here? So yeah, I can identify with the waiting and waiting, and it's not a good
Mhm.
feeling. But on top of it, though, at least when it comes to Gene and Paul, the stuff came.
Yeah.
The little kid, and I'll never forget, Mike, since you want to talk about the potential of fraud and what could do to people. A couple of these thousand people that were speculating may or may not have ordered these figures. Some of them are gifts for little children. I remember waiting and waiting for that aforementioned Kiss stuff. And it was about a half a year in, and it was a horrible cold winter day, and I was a small kid. I must have been 9. And I had a horrible fever. I felt so sick. And my mom went out to the mailbox. There was snow, big snowstorm and stuff. She went out to the mailbox, and I saw her come in with the mail, and it was the Kiss stuff. And it made my day, Mike. I mean, it
Love
really
it.
did. As sick as I felt, I was so happy. I was thumbing through the Kiss concert book that they had sent me, and the newsletter, and I was such a happy little kid. And I'm sure some of these customers have ordered these figures for smaller kids. So come on, man. Whatever's going on here, you need to deliver it. You don't take your ball and go home. You give back to the people who gave to you.
Jimmy, by the way, RJ
Please.
Hudson wants to know, are you back in New York for good?
Yeah, I'm
Okay,
here.
perfect.
I mean, I've been here 55 of my 57 years, and I'm back where I've always been. To me, it's still the greatest state in the world. I know a lot of people talk a lot of crap about it, but I think that look, all my memories are here, right, Mike? All your memories are here. We were
Absolutely.
blessed to grow up in a beautiful. We were blessed to grow up in a beautiful neighborhood. Our parents were did the right thing by us and raised us, very intellectually and right. At least morally, they tried. Look at me. Sorry, folks. I tried. Try to take the best I could out of my parents. We're very blessed. Everything. I am New York. So are you.
That's it, baby. I'm
Capiche?
loving you today. I'm capiche. All right, so far you
Yeah.
got 2 matches. Are
Yeah.
you coming to go watch WrestlePalooza at Monty's house?
I love it so far. I mean, you got me going out to the car.
All
Go
right,
on.
you're at the car. Stephanie
Yeah, I'm
Vicaire
at the car.
against Io Sky for the vacated women's title from Naomi.
Oh my God! If I was still the purist that this business is kind of beaten out of me, this is such a great match.
This is a great
Like just
match,
this,
dude. This is
yeah,
a
it's like,
great
oh my
match.
God, this, something. This card so far is killer. People are right when they're saying this so far. Okay, now I'm in the car and I've started the car. Come on.
Well, okay, you started the car, but who's winning? Who's winning the women's title?
Oh God, I feel
Now
like
remember, Oscar's back and she's having problems with Io right now. So
right. I would say logically EO, which I believe it should be, but why do I feel like they're so high on the other girl?
Stephanie, I think
Yeah.
they are. I think they are.
So my question to you is, because I'm still debating what my answer is do you think they'll pull the trigger on her with a shock with this Oscar cost EO the match? Do we have something weird going on?
I'm gonna go with Oscar's causing. I'm going with this so far. I'm going with the
It's tricky.
Usos.
Tricky.
Usos are gonna win
EO
their
should win.
match.
I can see
I
that.
understand. The Usos gonna win their match. I'm gonna go with Drew
I mean,
McIntyre is
logically,
gonna
yes.
win by count out or disqualification. And I'm going
Logically,
with Steph.
yeah.
Go ahead, brother.
Logically, I'm with you on the first 2 matches. Logically, the third match should be EO, but I don't think everything's going to be played safe here.
I'm going
So go
Stephanie
on.
Vicaire too. I think Io gets turned on.
That's my gut read. My gut read is that the Vision should win the first match and that Cody should win the second match just because of how the bookings and the vibe has been. In this one, I feel like they are partial to Stephanie. So
All right. So far you've started your car. Next up, John
yeah.
Cena versus Brock Lesnar.
Oh
Now,
my God.
again, I don't
Yeah.
see this. Everybody's telling and saying that John Cena has had some of the greatest matches of his career these last couple of months. I thought they were okay. They were good. I'm more favored towards, honestly, guys, Edge, John Cena. I love those matches. RVD, John Cena, CM Punk, John Cena. When John Cena made his U.S. title challenge, those matches were friggin' awesome. So I think we're overstating John Cena's matches, honestly, this last time around. I don't know how you feel about that, Jimmy.
What we're not understating. No, I think John's been serviceable. John's always been serviceable.
Right.
I still think he's serviceable. What we're not underselling is Brock. Brock is one of John's all-time great opponents. Brock has had some historical moments with John. I also love that Brock is back. I also, I've told you before, Brock Lesnar is in my all-time top 10 most loved wrestlers. I love Brock
Wow,
Lesnar.
I did not know that.
I think this is one of those matches that not only did I start the car, I backed it up, and I'm already at the LIE service road for after I hear
All right,
this one.
let's get some comments.
Yeah.
Right here. Let's see what we got here.
And I do think they'll pull it off too. I would be very surprised if they didn't at least be serviceable.
By the way, Bruce is trying to say they can't fly it in. That's way too expensive. He's saying that the reason they bailed out is they can't afford the dolls, which I'm going to have to believe what Bruce says.
Right.
B40 says Pharaoh's back on Long Island? ? Yes, he is. OC Tyler for a second time says gay dudes.
Hello.
I don't know, dude. Like comments don't really bother
me. You're watching me. I'm not watching you.
The president says, Monte The Pharaoh, you gotta go, Jimmy. I'm not springing 30 extra bucks. It's a great card. Yeah, well, it is free, so and you're gonna get. I'm gonna cook you hamburgers. That's gonna happen too. So it's
you got any
like
hot dogs? You do hot dogs over there?
I do hot dogs. You like hot dogs? You like them on a bun?
Now the freeloader is demanding the menu. Kick me
Do
out.
you like hot dogs on your bun? You like a little sauerkraut? I could put sauerkraut on it. Onions. I make little onions. I never got the
sauerkraut thing. What do you? I never understood the sauerkraut thing. What do you think of sauerkraut?
I love sauerkraut. Are you kidding me?
Do you? It's kind of weird to me, but
ESO says he's not dropping. He's watching highlights. But if you have ESPN, you get it for free, right? All right, so you're backing out. By the way, B40 says
on the LIE service road.
But B40 is already claiming that he thinks AJ Lee's going to turn on CM Punk. Could you imagine that? That can't happen. There's no way that's happened. That's stupid. That's not gonna happen. That would be stupid story writing, dude, to be honest with you.
We're going to have that stupid mixed tag match, and we all know it.
Well, that's the main event, dude. So there it is. This is the one. Is this the one bringing you in? AJ Lee and CM Punk.
Wait a minute. Hold on. There's only 5 matches? I guess that's what they do nowadays, huh?
That is all. That is all.
Wow. So that's the main event.
Let me make sure I didn't miss anything. Hold on. Let me make sure.
I'm still coming. No,
that's
over,
it.
But
that is all.
No, that didn't make me want to, finish the ride, but I'm still going to finish the ride because 4 out of 5 ain't bad. But you know what? There is intrigue in the match. And CM Punk is also in my top 10 all-time favorite guys. It's a great card. It's a 5 for 5. That's a great match.
I'll tell you what, this is the match I want to, dude, I want to see this match.
I'm sure. It's a great match. I'm not saying it's not. I just can't stand these freaking husband-wife things like the John Cena, Miz garbage, and I'm not a fan. Not a fan of that kind of match. But we got Seth, we got Punk, we got AJ coming back, we got Beck. What is going on with Becky, by the way? Where is Becky Lynch in the scheme of things? Right
Becky
now?
Lynch is probably doing her best work, in my opinion, as a wrestler now. Her heel work is top notch. Put away your Aussie comments. I understand, right? That you didn't.
No, I'm fine. Look, I've already forgotten about that.
Right.
When I think of Becky Lynch, that's not. I don't process like that. I was very angry at the timing, and that's fine. Okay, fine. I said my piece. You move, like I told you earlier. You either disagree with what the person says and stick to your guns, is how you feel, or you do something stupid. You know what I mean? So, and this is a much smaller example, but this is how you should look at everything. So to me, it's like, she said something dumb. All I'm trying to say is that I heard a take out there which I thought was pretty rough. I wanted to get your take on it. That if it wasn't for the fact that Nia Jax shoot punched her and Becky cut the promo with the bloody face, do you think that Becky's trajectory is the same? Because she wasn't really that, you know what I
No,
mean?
it wasn't.
And I don't think that she's had it for a while as far as that level for a while. So where is Becky in all of this was where I started. You know what
I
I
would
mean?
say that I would say that if you looked at
Right.
so I agree 100%. If that punch never happens, Becky Lynch is never where she is, right?
Right.
I would say
Yeah.
at this point, as much I have Charlotte Flair on my back wall, Becky
Mm-hmm.
Lynch, to me, as far as women wrestlers go, may have bypassed Charlotte Flair at this point.
I don't think so. Yeah, I don't. You know what though? You see, this is a tricky one because she ignited the women's evolution and was the big deal, right, Becky? But
Well, it's I would say Ronda Rousey did, honestly, as much as
well,
people hate her,
the
but
one who benefited the most from the movement was Becky. True or false?
yes, absolutely,
That's what I'm
100%.
getting at. But to me, she'll never surpass Charlotte. So that's a tricky one. It's almost like what if Hulk Hogan and what
If
if
Hulk
Hulk
Hogan
Hogan and
stays in
Stone
the AWA,
No, what if Hulk Hogan and Stone Cold had somehow appeared at the same time? It's like one of those weird ones where,
well, let's be honest, dude. If
they're different,
Triple
but
H,
they're
if
both.
Triple H doesn't get suspended by Vince
Yeah,
McMahon,
yeah,
the Stone Cold movement never happens. That's why,
right,
as much as I love Vince McMahon, and in
right.
life, guys, I think you have to be just as lucky as you are good. If you don't have
Hmm.
luck behind you, good only gets you so far. I
That's
can
true.
name a million things Vince McMahon got lucky on. If let's just start from the beginning. Dusty Rhodes takes his offer to become the next WWF champion. What happens, Jimmy?
What year is this?
Back in '84, when '83, when Hogan took over, right?
Instead of Hogan?
Instead of Hogan, yeah, because that was McMahon's first choice was
Well,
Dusty Rhodes.
you know what though? That doesn't make Vince McMahon lucky. It makes Vince McMahon see like Vern. So if that happens, this is what this is going to be weird, but okay.
Okay, go ahead.
If that happens, what are we saying? Are we saying that Vern Gagne in this alternate universe understands the wealth and value of Hulk Hogan and works with him, and then Hulk Hogan? What are we saying? Because to me, Vern Gagne had to be a dumbass for Vince McMahon to have the opportunity to be a genius. If you follow me, like
I do.
Dusty Rhodes would have not lasted very long. I don't believe as the face of the WWF. He just
Wait a
doesn't.
minute. So let me ask you something. Vince is making his corporate takeover, right? And
Uh
he's
huh.
he's tagging Dusty Rhodes, okay, as the
Right.
guy. Okay.
Where is this information coming from, Mike? Let me ask that
So
first.
there's a documentary which is incredible on Netflix. Maybe we'll watch it together one day. I have
All
no
right.
problem watching it for the 100th
So
time. You
there's
know how I
validity
am.
to this, is what I'm getting at.
Yes, Dusty Rhodes was approached as the first guy by Vince McMahon, and Dusty Rhodes turned it down. He did not believe that Vince McMahon was going to be able to pull it off.
When was that offer? Was Hogan still stuck in a contract? Because you know the timing of this.
Hogan wasn't Vince was looking to take the belt from he needed someone to go national with. His first
Right.
choice was Dusty Rhodes. His next choice, now there is some misinformation. They don't say it on the documentary, but there is a conversation that I heard that Kerry Von Erich was his second choice and Fritz wouldn't let Kerry go. So now you look
That
at
I
it, Dusty, Kerry, Hogan.
That the Kerry one, I could see Vince thinking about. I'm shocked at the Dusty one
I'm
because
shocked
Dusty
Dusty
was
turned it down. I'm shocked.
well. Then that would have meant that Dusty. I'm not shocked. I'll tell you why. That would have meant that Dusty would have had to hand over. Don't forget, Dusty wasn't just a
He
main
was a
event
booker,
star.
right?
Dusty
You're
was.
right. You're right.
He was
You're
about.
right.
He would have to give up the ego. He wasn't going to do it. He
Not
wasn't
just
going to
that,
do
he
it.
was had
Listen,
guaranteed money on some kid that thinks he's going to take over the world.
look, the one of the biggest things that makes me laugh my ass off, and I speak from personal experience, being exposed to a lot of the behind the scenes stuff that went down south. Hulk Hogan gets killed for being selfish and putting himself first, and I can tell you for a fact Dusty Rhodes did that his whole career until he finally had to, be humbled, I guess. He was living that rock star life himself, Dusty Rhodes. He was. And he was booking his own shows, and he was the main event guy, and the whole thing. Sometimes when he wasn't in charge of the booking, you know what the promoter would do? They'd send him somewhere else to get a break from him. True or false?
I agree. By the way, ESO says no way Becky over Charlotte.
I agree. Yeah.
Yard Ape says Dusty would have fizzled out.
He would have.
Yard Ape, what's up with the most boxing man and professional? John Cena Sr. He might have some insight into his son's matches. Yeah. He doesn't really like to talk about his son too much on these things. So, okay. So, Jimmy, we're talking about Senior being lucky. So let's go past the Hogan thing. So let's fast forward. What if Jimmy Snuka, like he had chose Jimmy Snuka? Let's move even further than that. Let's go to Triple H. They don't have that infamous curtain call that you always talk about. Triple H wins that King of the Ring.
Yeah.
Right? WCW is now making its move. There's no such thing as Stone Cold Steve Austin because there isn't. There's no way that happens, right? Well, Triple H is the guy.
If you take away Stone Cold Steve Austin, then everything is different today. Everything's different today. Everything is different today.
But that's where I say lucky and good. Let me ask you this. I know he was working on his heel character, McMahon, but if he doesn't do the Montreal screw job and the Vince McMahon heel doesn't come out, that's luckier than good too, right?
I'll tell you what, though. You got to be good when luck affords you the opportunity, and we've always defended Vince for this. When Vince sees an opening, Vince seizes the moment.
Absolutely. That's why I said good and lucky always work well together.
That has always been the formula. And shame on you, Triple H. Shame on you for going over with this $29.95 situation because you're breaking Vince McMahon's most important rule. And this may be a revelation to a lot of people who hate Vince McMahon. But Vince McMahon had a family-friendly first ticket and pay-per-view situation. And he lived and died by that as long as he was there. And anybody who doesn't think that, look what's going on now. Vince McMahon would never allow that. You do not gouge your fans. And Vince McMahon was also the one who told every wrestler, you better talk to the fans when they talk to you.
Right.
So Vince McMahon is very much like George Steinbrenner, understood the consumer, wanted to give the consumer everything he could and still be wealthy. Vince McMahon was very, very wealthy, but he made sure that the family of four could get to SummerSlam. How much were those tickets in the first few rows for WrestleMania this year, Mike? You were telling me? How much was that?
2 nights is $70,000.
How much?
7,000. Now I'm sure you get a VIP package, get to meet the wrestlers, probably get a chair, blah blah blah. $70,000.
Yeah, you forgot that last zero before. I was like, I thought I heard that right the first time.
I apologize.
Yeah, no, that's fine. $70,000, and that's for how many tickets?
It's one ticket for 2 nights.
It's one ticket. So if you want to take your family of 4, now I remember sitting in the first. I was in the second row back in the days for Andre Hogan. I understand it was the Coliseum. It wasn't WrestleMania, but my God. So you want to take a family of 4? That'll be $280,000 for the weekend. What the fuck? Do I invent rocket fuel in my spare time? What kind of money am I making?
So here's the thing. As long as people are willing to do it, they're willing to do it. And here's the scary thing everybody's got to realize.
It's unbelievable.
Once the WWE isn't demanding all this type of money, okay, it's going to get disbanded, dude. It'll be sold. It'll be sold to Saudi Arabia. It'll be sold to some other billionaire.
Yep. Yeah.
Jason Moore says COO Mark Shapiro recently said he's looking to price out the families.
Wow. Then who's your audience?
Vince has always put his fans first.
He did, but Mike, if you price out the families, who's your audience?
The guy's paying $70,000, dude. Corporate seats, all that bullshit.
Well, if they continue down that course, eventually they'll crumble just like any other empire.
Here's the thing: if some people didn't tell me to look on ESPN, I would not even have ordered it. All right, anyway, who's winning? Punk and AJ, or are we looking at Seth and Becky?
Oh, the fans got to go home happy. What, you think AJ's going to lose? Right?
All right, so you headed over on Saturday?
Oh, like I said, if the sun rises and I'm actually in a mood of positivity, there's a good chance. I mean,
sounds good. Well, then I'll have hot
do you like that I
dogs
did
ready for the
Switzerland? Phil DeCesare wrote that answer for me. What do you think?
I want to thank everybody for joining us for both shows. I want to thank again Tiffany. Beautiful, beautiful woman, both inside and out. I am a true fan. I will be watching NWA wrestling, dude, for sure. Tiffany Nueves. And Jimmy, I want to thank you for a fantastic show. We covered politics. We covered some real in-deep wrestling. Can't forget that we've got other stars coming up like Al Perez and Morton. Kerry Morton will be in house, where we'll talk more with Kerry Morton about Powertown USA, as his father signed a deal with them. So let's see what he's got to say about that, right, Jimmy? Listen, I've got one last comment for you before we go, because it's important for you. I really want to know what you feel. How do you feel about the host not just throwing easy softballs to these guys for an hour?
What hosts in general throwing easy?
No, the host for the for Gagne and Magnum TA to talk their piece about Powertown USA. Dominic DeAngelo.
Well, I guess he's just in Mark mode. I don't know. I mean, I know that we would be asking him what the hell's going on, but that's why we're us.
Dominic DeAngelo. You want to see this?
Yeah,
guy?
I never liked Arc Ball to begin with, if that's what you're getting at. I like fast.
What is that? What's that?
Well, you said softballs, and this guy's lobbing them in, right? So I'm thinking about Arc Ball. I know you played Arc Ball. I always laugh when you tell me you did, but no, I played the Slinger League. So to me, it's like, I like fast pitch. I don't need no lobs,
You always put down Arc Ball, man. What the fuck, man?
Dude, I played it. I won championship playing Arc Ball. I've played it. I don't think it's the most competitive way to go about it. If you're going to go out there on a Sunday and wake up early in the morning after having a gig.
Here's the host. Do you think this guy gets laid?
No.
No, right? There's no way in hell.
Yeah, no.
That guy probably does like podcasts and jerks off on the table as these guys are talking. What do you think?
You do realize I haven't eaten and I've had whiskey, and then you show me that. Thanks.
No, you know what? I got to apologize. That's one fine-looking gentleman right there. Fine-looking gentleman.
He's mint. Don't use mint. It's retro.
All right, guys, for all that can afford it, thank you for joining us. I love you all. Please enjoy WrestlePalooza. Jimmy, I want to thank you. I will see you on Saturday, where we'll talk about WrestlePalooza and all the fun things about it. It's only 5 matches or so.
It was surreal. I was suddenly eating a hot dog with relish.
Is that it?
Sauerkraut. Yeah, I think that's it. You've been watching Monte and the Pharaoh. Later.